From diseases to cyclones to earthquakes to tsunamis to floods to hurricanes and other natural disasters. Today I'm going to inform you on the top 10 most destructive natural disasters in history you probably didn't know about.
Number 10.
The Antioch earthquake in year 526 in the Syria region, which had killed an estimated 250,000 to 300,000 people. The earthquake even started a fire, destroying shelter, and an estimated magnitude of 7 is what the earthquake had. Even though this happened so long ago, and culture was completely different back then, it still had a really bad aftermath. The people were still left shocked. The earthquake caused a considerable amount of damage to some of the buildings in Antioch, including Constantine's famous octagonal church. It was so bad at the time, which is why sources still attempt to study this deadly earthquake even today.
Number 9.
The Haiyuan earthquake that occurred in China in 1920 on December 16th and killed an estimated 275,000 people. Today's sources claim that the earthquake had a magnitude of 8.5, which is extremely deadly. There were also numerous amounts of landslides and ground cracks and other terrors and destruction. A really atrocious and sickening nightmare. Nature continues to remind us who is really in control.
Number 8.
The Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, which occurred in 2004 on December 26th, which killed an estimated 280,000 to 300,000 people, and over 500,000 people were severely injured by the waves, but somehow magically survived. This somewhat shallow water where the earthquake struck proved the energy and power that the earthquake gave off was the equivalent to an estimate 23,000 Hiroshima type atomic bombs. Same energy, almost the equivalent, almost. The energy and power dissipates when the deadly and stunning earthquake made its way towards the surface.
Number 7.
The Calcutta Cyclone at the Hooghly River in 1737 is one of the most catastrophic and damaging natural disasters of all time. The Calcutta Cyclone caused extreme damage to the low-lying areas in the region. Overall, the Calcutta Cyclone reportedly destroyed 20,000 ships, boats, canoes, and other water vessels, and caused an estimated 300,000 to 350,000 fatalities. Just imagine dying, getting killed by a cyclone, or just drowning in a deep, dark, freezing ocean. Imagine the horror these individuals went through. This nightmare was another natural disaster caused by Mother Nature.
Number 6.
The Indian Cyclone in 1839 in a small village in Coringa was a catastrophic and insane natural disaster that killed over 300,000 people. This cyclone created the third largest death count from any tropical cyclone worldwide. The Indian Cyclone of 1839 even tied with Vietnam's 1881 typhoon, creating a monsoon, also killing 300,000 people. Horrifying storms in the Bay of Bengal make 7 of the 10 most catastrophic hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones in history. Life can be so dark and disturbing, a truly sick reminder of how cruel nature can be.
Number 5.
On November 3rd to November 13th in 1970, the Bhola Cyclone was a devastating and horrifying tropical and natural cyclone that hit then East Pakistan and India's West Bengal so hard, killing around 250,000 to 500,000 people while destroying multiple lives. Even if the storm didn't kill you, this catastrophic cyclone was the 6th extremely scary storm of the 1970 North Indian Ocean of its season. The cyclone became so powerful it reached a Category 3 hurricane. Over $490 million in U.S. currency of damage occurred. Approximately 87% of houses in that area were completely destroyed or severely damaged with very little chance of repair. Life can be so surprising and shocking when you least expect it.
Number 4.
The Yellow River Flood, created by the nationalist government in central China during the Second Sino-Japanese War, which crippled their army. And this flood was the largest act of environmental man-made disaster. Yes, this was not a natural, but it was so devastating that I had to include this disaster on the list due to the destruction it caused. 1 million people were killed by the flood, and 12 million people were affected by the flood. A truly vile, grotesque, and disturbing way to treat your fellow human being.
Number 3.
The Shaanxi earthquake that occurred on January 23rd in 1556 during the Ming Dynasty, or as I would say, the Dynasty. The Shaanxi earthquake had a shocking magnitude of 8, which killed around 900,000 to 1 million people. This earthquake was so tragic that countries lost almost 60% of their population. Such a horrid tragedy, nevertheless. There is no escape from danger. What an insane world we really live in.
Number 2.
The China floods of 1931, also known as the 1931 Yellow River floods, is arguably the worst flood in history, with flood damage affecting around 28.5 million people. Around 3 to 4 million were killed by the insane natural disaster. The people who weren't killed by the flood resorted to selling family members, and lots of people resorted to cannibalism and even theft and murder due to the agony and pain caused by the flood. Nature can be so cruel, but it constantly reminds us who is really in charge. These natural disasters give us reminders that we are guests on this planet, nothing more. We are not in control of our surroundings.
Number 1.
The Black Plague, also known as the Bubonic Plague, which killed around 200 million people in the 1340s and 1350s in Europe. The Black Death, or the Black Plague, is the most destructive natural disaster ever known to man and womankind. Millions died in other countries, but affected Europe the most. This was most likely due to the fleas and the miserable and filthy living conditions, which you probably lived under in the 1300s. Remember, this occurred at a time when hygiene and cleanliness was a huge problem. Research shows that 45 to 50% of Europe's population died within a 4-year period. Sometimes life just isn't fair. And on a side note, the Black Death birthed the death chant, or nursery rhyme, famously known as Ring Around a Rousey, pockets full of posy, ashes to ashes we all fall down, which many children still sing today.
Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes to ashes we all fall down.
Hello, this is Alex Carnifex. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content.